This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 25th day of June in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Leader of the People's National Congress Reform and former President David Granger has objected to a plan by the government to establish a regional joint support team, which the government said would aid in its crime-fighting efforts. Appearing in his weekly program, Public Interest, Mr. Granger described the move to establish a new unit as strange and said it leaves more questions than answers.
We had an era, as I said, in the 2000s, during the troubles of the black clothes squads, and there must be some hidden interest behind it. There is need for law enforcement, but you have a law enforcement agency. Why not strengthen the law enforcement agency? This does not make sense.
Mr. Granger, who is a retired brigadier himself, said there appears to be hidden hands guiding the government's security policy, which he noted is dangerous for Guyana.
I think the general population is very concerned that we're going down the road to the black clothes squads that we saw 20 years ago. And we don't know who's controlling it, who's driving it. We don't know if this is a recommendation from the acting commissioner of police or the acting chief of staff, because those two persons have not been confirmed in their positions. Nobody knows what's going on. There seems to be some hidden hand, directing security policy.
The government last week approached the National Assembly for $700 million to establish a new unit, which has been clouded in secrecy. Questions about the unit have gone unanswered, with the government claiming it cannot divulge the information for security reasons. Questions have also been swirling about the legality of such a unit since no legislation was passed in the Assembly for its establishment. The government has been heavily criticized for a say-nothing posture about the new security apparatus and its responsibilities. More news coming up in just a moment.
What's our purpose? Together we rise. For our community, our customer, and our country. Our promises: strengthen our community, reliably connect our customers, innovate for all in our country. Together we rise.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Preparing for your NGSA exams is always a challenge. The Guyana Learning Channel is here to help. You can go to YouTube using your browser or your mobile device, then search for the Guyana Learning Channel in the search bar. We're live streaming our NGSA booster videos all day and all night. If you want to study a specific subject or topic, you can go to our NGSA booster playlist. You can look at a specific subject, such as mathematics, and then look for a specific topic. Here, you can follow along with the lesson to prepare for your examination. Remember kids, study hard, and best of luck in your exams.
My one and only, tastes so good to me. Yes, we love cheesies. Cheesies, cheesies, give me please. Nobody does it like these. Cheesies, cheesies, give me some. Cheesies taste is number one. Only Sunshine's got it. Got the cheese you love, with a taste that's so real. We love cheesies. Sunshine Snacks Cheesies, just so good.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL.
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
GWI introduces CAP, their customer assistance promotion that offers massive discounts. For a limited time, get 50% off all reconnection fees and another 50% off your entire bill. If your service was removed or you've reconnected on your own, GWI is offering yet another 50% discount off all tampering and replacement fees. Wallet-friendly payment plans are also available. So tap into GWI's customer assistance promotion by visiting any GWI office and avoid them taking legal action. CAP only applies to customers whose services were disconnected or removed prior to 2021. For more information, call 227-8701 or WhatsApp 620-1667. Water is life. Save it.
Sonia, you think people easy? People just really want to do their own thing. Look across the road how we building the house low. The building code say you're supposed to be 2 feet off the ground.
And when the place flood, them just be the first to complain.
But you know sometimes we that just contribute to the flooding with we behavior.
You know, boy, we just throw things in the drains and canals. We don't keep the gutters clean and dispose of garbage properly. By the way, you got an emergency kit?
Yeah, Sonia, I got me own and it got drinking water, army medicines, and say things like band-aids, iodine, bandages.
And me own got in toothpaste, a change of underwear and clothing, toilet paper and soap.
Guyana, our country, our responsibility.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways. Knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Let GBTI make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI. We see Guyana through your eyes.
On the police blotter, a family row escalated into a deadly brawl this morning in Cummings Street here in Georgetown, when a man stabbed his brother to death after the brother punched their mother in the face. The dead man has been identified as 24-year-old Paul Chase. His elder brother, 27-year-old Quincy Reynolds, has been arrested for the murder. The two brothers got into a loud argument and fight at their home after the younger brother attacked the mother, leaving her with swelling just above one of her eyes. As the siblings got into a heated row, the older brother armed himself with a knife and stabbed the younger one during the fight, leaving him motionless. The shocked mother broke down in tears as emergency services were contacted, and she watched one son taking his last breath while the other one stood by. The mother was questioned at the scene as investigators arrived and cordoned off the building. The investigation is ongoing tonight. Let's tell you now that the European Union has announced the allocation of 150,000 euros in humanitarian funding to assist Guyana in its flood relief efforts. Guyana has been rocked by some of the worst floods in decades since the rainy season started. Some areas have seen up to 10 feet of floodwaters. A team of experts is currently in the country to assess the impact of the flooding. The Civil Defense Commission has estimated that 36,000 households have been affected, with farmers and miners being the hardest hit. The funding that is being made available to Guyana will be channeled through the Red Cross. The intervention will last for 3 months and aims at providing immediate support to 500 vulnerable families currently living in temporary shelters in the most severely affected areas of Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo, and Upper Demerara and Berbice. EU Ambassador to Guyana Fernando Pons Canto earlier in the month met the director of Guyana's Civil Defense Commission to facilitate the activation of the EU's Civil Protection Mechanism. With the EU funding, the Guyana Red Cross will identify the most vulnerable families and present them with cash and vouchers. Just as Trinidad and Tobago was set to dispatch a shipment of flood relief items to Guyana, the Guianan government informed the government of Trinidad that it was not in need of many of the items that were about to be shipped. With several communities still on the floodwaters, Guyana had reached out to CARICOM for assistance. Trinidad and Tobago was among the first countries to start the preparation of a relief shipment for Guyana. However, following a spat between the health advisor in Guyana, Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce, and the Trinidadian Prime Minister over vaccines, Guyana's Minister of Foreign Affairs reached out to his Trinidadian counterpart to inform him that many of the items that were being sent to Guyana were no longer needed. The foreign minister said Guyana was only interested in getting water pumps to assist with the draining of many of the still flooded communities. The media in Trinidad has reported that Guyana refused Trinidad's aid, but President Irfaan Ali today clarified that that was not the case, and Guyana only made known its current needs. However, the APNU-AFC opposition has dismissed the president's position and has questioned the government's taking such a position at a time when thousands of homes are still being impacted by the floods and many persons continue to find it difficult to get by on their own. Trinidad and Tobago has since dispatched a shipment of relief supplies to neighboring Suriname, which has also been facing flood woes of its own. 2 women who were arrested after a quantity of marijuana and crystal meth was found in the false bottom of lotion bottles have been charged for drug trafficking. The 2 appeared in court today and were granted bail in the sum of $60,000 each. The bust took place at the post office. The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit reported this afternoon that during a search of a box that was being shipped through the post, the illegal drugs were found concealed in the false walls of lotion bottles. Plaisance resident Andrea de Fleurmont was the person shipping the items. She was immediately arrested. It was later learned that she received the items for shipping from a North Randolph woman, Patrina Bristol. Bristol was arrested at her home and taken into custody. Both women appeared in court today where they pleaded not guilty to the drug trafficking charges and were granted bail. The Rupununi region continues to experience a steep increase in new coronavirus cases. In the past 7 days, Region 9 recorded 283 new cases of the virus, taking its total number of active cases to more than 350. With the region sharing its border with Brazil, which continues to experience high COVID-19 numbers and deaths, authorities in Region 9 are becoming very concerned about the spike in new cases. The Ministry of Health intends to step up vaccination campaigns in the region, but it has also noticed that many of the persons in the region who are due their second shot of the available vaccines have not been showing up. On the national front, Guyana continues to see an increase in new cases nationally. 109 new cases were recorded today, with 1 additional death. According to the Ministry of Health, the country also continues to see an increase in hospitalizations. In the past 2 months, the hospitalization rate has been an average of between 60 and 80 per day.
On a daily basis, the amount of people in hospital would vary, but on average, we can give an average number, which would be the mean between the highest and the lowest that we've had for that month. So on average for January, we had approximately 18 persons per day. In February, that increased slightly to about 23 persons. Then in March, that went up to about 38. In April, that went up to 66. and in May it's approximately 87, and in June it remains around 87. Now, this is an average between our highest and lowest number, so it doesn't represent the true numbers that we'll have per day. So a good example of that is that today we have 73 persons in our hospitals, and we have, of those 73, we have 18 in the ICU.
The Minister of Health said there is concern about the new Delta variant of the coronavirus, but it's unclear whether that variant has made its way into Guyana. Former President David Granger today called on the government to rethink its decision to impose visa requirements for Haitian nationals. President Ali has revoked the visa-free travel for Haitians coming to Guyana, as his administration continues to raise human trafficking concerns. But during his public interest program, Mr. Granger said the decision is illogical and unfortunate, noting that Venezuelans and other migrants are not being treated the same as Haitians.
Now, nobody knows for sure how many Venezuelan migrants are in the country. It's about 13,000. They're popping up all over the East Bank and West Coast, and they're getting involved in all types of. Some are going into business, some are going into shady business. Some are getting involved in criminal activity. We haven't heard of Haitians being involved in criminal activities at the same level. Yet you hear about 10 Haitians here or 3 Haitians there. And you have to change the law. Haitians are part of the Caribbean. Haiti is part of the Caribbean community. You have to go to all this trouble to deal with the Haitians, and the door is open to the Venezuelans.
Mr. Granger said thousands of Cubans have been passing through Guyana the same way as Haitians, and they are not being criminalized. In his view, the fleeing of the Haitians is because of a transnational migration issue.
Many of us are descendants of migrants, and Guyana has learned to live with migration over decades. If you go to some mining areas, you see persons who came from the Caribbean many years ago. They married into Guyanese families, but migration is now normal. This is not United States. We're not going to build a wall to keep the Mexicans out. We were built by migrants, and migration is not necessarily a bad thing.
The PNC leader also said the impression given by the government is that there is a direct issue with Haitians, but that's not the case.
This government is giving the impression that there is a problem with Haitians. The same measures are not being applied to Cubans or Venezuelans. Haitians perhaps are the best qualified to enter the country without visas, but now a wall, a diplomatic wall, a paper wall, a legal wall has been put to keep the Haitians out. And I don't believe that if you look at the Haitian issue in broad terms, we need such strong action against them.
According to Granger, the government needs to take a different approach to migration. He said it is very baffling that Haitians were being singled out.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
At Sash Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing, Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sash Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
What's our purpose? Together we rise. For our community, our customer, and our country. Our promises: strengthen our community, reliably connect our customers, innovate for all in our country. Together we rise.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Listen to me, Guyana. This is DJ Garwin. I've just been vaccinated and I'm urging you to go get vaccinated also. Remember, the longer you take the vaccine is the more we're going to be locked down. So my people, go out there, get your vaccine, be on the safe side. Remember, vaccine works.
Across the region tonight, the World Bank has approved a $100 million COVID-19 response and recovery loan for Barbados. The operation will support the COVID-19 relief efforts and promote a resilient economic recovery from the crisis. According to the World Bank, the COVID-19 pandemic has severely affected Barbados, which had been successfully implementing its economic reform program up until the pandemic hit. The pandemic has had severe socio-economic impacts in Barbados due to the heavy dependence on tourism, which accounts for about 40% of the jobs, more than half of which belong to women. The economy contracted by an estimated 18% last year, and unemployment claims reached roughly one-third of the workforce last year in Barbados. One of Haiti's most powerful gang leaders has warned that he is launching a revolution against the country's business and political elites, signaling a likely further escalation of violence in the impoverished Caribbean nation. Violence has spiked in Haiti's capital in recent weeks to what the UN has called unprecedented levels, as rival groups battle with one another or the police for the control of the streets, displacing thousands and worsening the country's humanitarian crisis. Surrounded by gang members and wielding machetes and guns, the gang leader gave a statement to local media outlets. On Wednesday, he said the G9 had become a revolutionary force to deliver Haiti from the opposition, the government, and the Haitian bourgeois. And finally tonight, international news. The U.S. plans to evacuate thousands of Afghans who worked for the American military ahead of September's troop withdrawal, senior officials have said. The plan could involve moving as many as 50,000 people, interpreters and their families to other countries. Afghan interpreters who have worked for the U.S. for years fear reprisals from the Taliban after the withdrawal. As many as 18,000 Afghans have applied for U.S. visas, but the lengthy process has been hindered by delays. The plan now is to move them to other countries before September, where their application can be finalized in safety. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and wishing you a pleasant and safe weekend.